I'm Miss Mohrbacher. I'm going to show you the polishing demonstration. So this is the next step after you have sanded completely through 600. You can't see any scratches. You come over here. There are four machines. The first two has triple E polish on it. That's this stuff. And you can tell this color is a lighter brown. These two machines will get fine scratches out. It's slightly abrasive. The next two wheels, strictly a polish. Okay? That will not get any scratches out. Okay, you absolutely have to have your goggles on for sure. And you have to have your hair tied back. If you don't have your hair tied back and it gets stuck in the wheel, these things go super fast. It's going to rip your hair right out of your head. And it's going to hurt. And it's going to be horrible. So make sure your hair is tied back. Bring ties in. Okay. Shh. All right. You also need to have a little rag with you to wipe off some of the excess polish. All right. So turn these wheels on to fast. Some of these have two settings. It should be on fast. And you need to sit down while you're doing it, and arms need to be braced against like the table here, and you're holding it with two hands toward the bottom, not toward the top. And you'll put it on for 3 seconds and off for 3 seconds because the metal gets hot. It's called friction. This is a really old piece of metal. I'm not sure it's really going to do much. Oh, there. Now it's starting to. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and pulling it off. And I'm going to wipe off some of this black stuff. This black stuff is polish. Can you guys all see how it's starting to get like a shine on it? Starting a little bit. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Ooh, it's getting warm. It's getting warm. And I'm wiping the polish off. And what you're going to have to do is move your metal around to get every area. The ends are kind of hard. You have to hold it with both hands. Brace your arms. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. You're letting it cool down. Wiping the excess polish off. It's starting to get warm again. But I am getting a nice shine. And like I said, this is a scrap piece of metal, so it's not shining up exactly the way I want it to, but it is. I'm getting some shine to it. All right, so after you have your, ooh, it's still warm, your whole piece of metal completely done, front and back, then you go down to the next wheels. These are your polishing wheels, and again, you're going to need a stool. These wheels work the exact same way, and you just go over everything again. If by any chance, after you've been polishing with the triple E, you're seeing more scratches, and that happens sometimes these wheels actually reveal scratches, that means you have to go back and sand. I'm actually seeing scratches in here. So if you brought this up to me and showed it to me, I'd be like, go back and sand, and then polish with triple E again, and then polish with the red rouge. Red rouge is down here. So very often, that's a very common thing, right, Mrs. Watson? So same thing, 2 hands, holding it tightly. 3 seconds on, 3 seconds off, let it cool down. If it's still hot, don't put it back on the wheel. And this actually is not going to polish up well because there's too many scratches already on it. But I didn't want to use a good piece of metal for demonstration purposes. Also, another thing that could happen, you could get your fingerprints stuck under the polish. And you'll notice because you'll actually see fingerprints. That's if you're not wiping it down every time. Okay, or you could end up with like a black blob. That's a fingerprint. So in that case, you'll have to wipe it down. Sometimes you might even have to go back and do the sanding, depending on how bad it is. But chances are, if you have to go back and do the sanding, probably just 600 grit. Any questions? All right. right, you guys are awesome. That concludes our demonstration.